my brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, a woman decides to go on a vacation. Before leaving, she asks her brother to take care of Sandy, her cat. So after asking the brother to take care of the cat, she leaves for vacation. On the second day, she makes a phone call to find out what is going on. And her brother bluntly tells her on the phone that the cat was dead. The woman really is upset to hear that, and she does not know what to say for a minute. She regains her composure and says, "My dear brother, this is not the way to open a sad news to someone. You are very blunt. You have to be gentle in opening the sad news to someone. Maybe the first day you could say that the cat was stuck on the roof and was unable to get down. The second day, you could have said she had fallen and the vet said she would be okay. And the third day, you could have said the cat died of complications. This is how gently you have to break the sad news to someone." So she gave that lesson on the phone and went to bed. On the third day, when evening came, she makes a call to the house to find out what is going on. So she asks, what is up? What is going on in the family? And the brother, having received a lesson how to gently open sad news, guess what he said? "Well, Grandma is stuck on the roof and unable to get down." My dear friends, today's Word of God is an invitation to learn the gentleness of Christ. Jesus says in the Gospel, "I am gentle and humble in spirit. Learn from me." Years ago, 700 years before the birth of Jesus Christ, a slave in Greece, a Greek slave by name Aesop, compiled some stories. We call them as the Aesop fables. One of the fables is to do with the sun and the wind. There was a dispute between the sun and the wind as to who is stronger one. So an opportunity came to settle the dispute between the sun and the wind. A man was walking down a deserted road with his coat on. So the sun proposed to the wind, "Whoever makes the man take off his coat faster is the winner." So the wind not only agreed to the proposal but also decided to go first. And the wind started blowing heavily, strongly, and he blew and blew. The more the wind blew, the tighter the man got his coat tighter, and he got that coat. The more the wind blew, the man got his coat tighter, got onto his coat tighter. I'm sorry. So the moral of the story, as mentioned by Aesop, was this: you can achieve more by gentleness than by violence. That was the moral of the story as mentioned by Aesop. But today, unfortunately, gentleness is not respected among the people as it used to be. The best compliment in the years past that you can give to anyone is that someone is a gentle person. But today, gentleness has no value. Rather, we could say the violence has taken over our culture. And the TV has given violence a widespread audience. It is because the television media worries only about the ratings. They are all the time worried about what we call the TRP, television rating points. They are worried about that. The television media actually has to understand that it is not only meant for information and entertainment, but it's also meant to educate the people. Media, the television media, has the obligation to educate people morally. And they have to educate values. They should remember that. And the culture of violence also has taken its toll on our families today. We see violence in the families. We shout at each other, we yell at each other sometimes, and we kick things at home, and we throw things, and sometimes we go to the extent of striking each other. Look at some of the words like battered woman, abused child. Where do they come from? They originate from the violence that is prevalent, that is existing in the families. So when we find ourselves in the midst of violence, here is today's gospel. Jesus standing before us, inviting us to learn from him gentleness of heart. I'm meek, gentle. I'm humble in spirit. Learn from me. My dear friends, in the Old Testament, Prophet Isaiah prophesied about the gentleness of Christ, saying, "You will not hear his voice on the street. He will not crush a bent reed. He will not put off the flickering lamp." Because the reed is already bent, he wouldn't like to crush it down. He would like to give it another chance. Because the lamp is flickering, he would not put it off, because he is gentle to that extent. And not only, if you want to learn about if you want an example of Christ's gentleness, it could be learned from the story of adulterous woman in the gospel. This is mentioned in the Gospel of St. John at the end of the 7th chapter and in the beginning of the 8th chapter of John's Gospel. So if this adulterous woman is brought to Jesus Christ by the Pharisees and scribes, this case is brought to Jesus Christ as a trap. They bring her and tell Jesus that this woman was caught in the act of adultery, and such cases have to be stoned to death according to the law of Moses. What do you say? If Jesus says, "Do not stone her to death," then he will be violating the law of Moses. And if he says, "Leave her, stone her to death," he will be acting against his own teachings on compassion and kindness. So this case is brought to Jesus Christ as a trap. Either way, Jesus will be trapped. And the way Jesus handles this case teaches us how gentle he is. He bent over, gently wrote on the sand, and the gospel says, starting with the oldest, everyone left from the place. And because Jesus said, anyone who has not committed sin is the one who is going to throw stone first at her. And everybody left the place. My dear friends, when we speak about the story of adulterous woman, we think Jesus was very gentle with the adulterous woman. Not only that, Jesus also was gentle with the accusers of the adulterous woman. He never shouted at them because he knew they were trying to trap him, but still Jesus would be gentle to the extent of keeping quiet and keeping his composure and letting them go by themselves. So this is the kindness, this is the gentleness that Jesus has taught us by his life and example. Not only by his life and example, he also has taught us through his teachings. Look at the parable of the lost sheep. When the sheep was found by the shepherd did not beat the sheep. He did not drag the sheep to home. He gently put the sheep on his shoulder, because Jesus is teaching us gentleness through this parable. And also look at the parable of the prodigal son. The prodigal son comes back home having squandered the property of the father, having spoiled the family's good name. But here is a father who goes out of his way, embraces him, kisses him, and makes sure that he is treated on par with the other son, because the prodigal father is gentle to that extent. My dear friends, today's Word of God is an invitation to learn gentleness from the life and example of Jesus Christ, from His teachings, so that one day we would make it our own and then live out what we learned from Jesus Christ. As we celebrate this Mass, let us pray to God that we may always remember what Jesus says in today's Gospel: "Learn from me, I am gentle and humble in spirit." Amen.